Hundreds of children in Japan are hospitalized today, but the culprit is not a new virus. It's thought to be a television cartoon. The children reportedly became ill after watching a show called Pocket Monsters. NBC's Kiko Itasaka tells us more.
It's a national emergency. More than 600 children were hospitalized after watching the popular television cartoon Pocket Monster. Doctors say the children were mesmerized by these flashing screen images, inducing seizures, vomiting, and eye problems.
These convulsions happen to children who are very sensitive to certain light.
8-year-old Yohei Ichikawa was one of the 20 million Japanese watching the show last night. He didn't get sick, but his mom is still worried.
From now on, I'll have to monitor everything they watch.
Yohei and his brother both say they love the show and the Game Boy version, and they won't give them up. The Pocket Monster franchise is a $3 billion business. Even after this big scare, customers are snapping up these Pocket Monster video games, stuffed animals, and keychains. These elementary school children are singing the Pocket Monster theme song in support of their favorite show. Japanese companies hope Pocket Monster video games, toys, and cartoons would eventually be a big hit in the United States. Now they're not sure they'll export Pocket Monster after all. Kiko Itasaka, NBC News, Tokyo.
So what did cause this reaction to children in Japan? Joining us now from New York is Dr. Cynthia Harden. Dr. Harden is with the Comprehensive Epilepsy Center of New York Hospital. Doctor, welcome.
Thank you.
Have you heard anything like this before?
Well, it's known that there is a subset of people with epilepsy who are sensitive to flashing lights. And these lights, when flashed at a certain frequency, can precipitate seizures. And it's probably more common to occur in children than adults.
So is it dangerous for children to be watching television?
It's not dangerous in general for children or others to be watching television. However, there may be some programming in which there is a flashing light at a frequency that they may be sensitive to.
And how do we know which flashing light causes this problem?
Well,
without having these kids get sick, is there any way to judge?
There's no way that the general population could be tested. Certain people who are known to have seizures or a family history of seizures, that is family members who may have epilepsy, could be tested with flashing lights, and this is routinely done.
So are you suggesting that the kids ought to be tested, and this is a problem with individuals, not with the general population?
It's an individual sensitivity. With the large population who were watching this show, it may be predicted that even this number of children, hundreds of children,
I was going to say,
this
is a lot of kids.
It is, but epilepsy is a fairly prevalent illness. It occurs in about 1% of the population, and about 10% of these people are sensitive to flashing lights.
So how severe a seizure could it be?
It could be a mild event consisting of shaking on one side, or even just a visual disturbance, or it could be as severe as a convulsion in which there's loss of consciousness, falling, tongue biting, etc.
Explain this. Is it possible, though, that children don't have any symptoms of epilepsy but still could have this reaction, or not?
This could be a sensitivity or a reflex reaction indicating that certain frequencies of flashing lights could produce a seizure. It may be that these children will only have a seizure in this setting, and they may not have seizures outside of this setting. On the other hand, for some children, if they have recurrent seizures, it's a marker that they have epilepsy.
Doctor, is there anything parents can do?
Parents can
I mean, should they just not worry about it, or should they ask their doctor about it? What should they do?
If there is a history of epilepsy in the child or in the family, the children should be tested with photic stimulation to see if they indeed may be susceptible to this form of epilepsy. It's known that this form of epilepsy tends to be more familial than other forms of epilepsy. So if there's a strong family history of seizures in the parents or the other siblings, it may be wise to have the children checked.
All right, Dr. Harden, interesting information and a very strange story. Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.